Well, good morning, Kingdom Academy. It is another Monday, and we are dealing once again with another difficult verse. And well, let's just get into it, because this is a verse that I've struggled with years ago, trying to understand. I know a lot of people have struggled with it as well, and so it's something that I want to kind of just share. And I got a lot of information, but I don't know how much I'm gonna to get to today. So we'll just see where this goes. I'm just going to riff on a few things. But in Matthew chapter 7, Jesus says something very odd. He says, "Do not give to dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn and attack you." I mean, what in the world is going on here? Do not throw your pearls before swine, before pigs. This is an odd saying. Now, if you've been listening for the past few weeks, you'll understand that what this is just another Hebrew idiom. And remember, idioms are very common in our language. We use idioms all the time, like it's raining cats and dogs. It doesn't mean it's literally raining cats and dogs. It just means it's raining heavy. But this is an idiom in Hebrew. And in the language in which Jesus would have been teaching would have been, he would have been speaking Aramaic, but more than likely he would have been teaching in Hebrew. And this is one of those idioms that, unless you understand the idiom, you'll never understand what's going on here. And what he's saying is, don't have a conversation with somebody, or try to share your opinion, or try to convince somebody, really, when you know that it's just going to be an argument. You know that there's no open-mindedness at all. I mean, have you ever had this idea that in leadership, like, this is a decision we need to make, or we need to take the company this direction, or maybe it's just a political question, like, this is what I think we should be doing. And the other person, is absolutely obstinate to whatever you're going to say. And whether you are talking to them about business or God or politics, you know that whatever comes out of your mouth, they're going to have the opposite opinion. And not only just an opinion, but they vehemently disagree with you. So much so that they will argue to their last breath, just because they don't want to maybe hear what you say, or don't care about what you are saying. Don't cast your pearls as swine. In other words, don't waste your breath. That's a tough one. Because we feel like, well, I have to share this idea, or I have to help somebody, or I need to point somebody in the right direction, or I need to, this is the direction we need to go as a company. And those things could be very important. But is it going to be beneficial to share at this moment? Is there a level of open-mindedness where you could actually get your point across? Because so often you want to share your idea, this great idea of what you want to do, or you have this principle or this value that you stand on, and it doesn't matter the other person. It's just going to turn into an argument. It's just going to turn into something that gets you angry, gets them angry, and separates you even more so from that person. Now, to understand this verse fully, we have to back up a little bit more. And so if we start at the beginning of this conversation, this teaching that Jesus is having, just before he talks about pigs and swine and being trampled upon, he says this: "Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you." I mean, if that's not a harsh, tough verse. The measure in which you judge someone, you will be judged. I mean, and not only that, Jesus continues. He says this, "And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, 'Let me remove the speck from your eye,' and look, a plank is in your own eye? Hypocrite, first remove the plank from your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." I mean, how often do we judge somebody when we ourselves are guilty of the same thing, if not even worse? I mean, I know from my own personal life and history, I've made some huge mistakes. I've done some dumb things. And I've worked hard to change my life. And several years ago, I noticed myself, after being confronted by this verse, that I would judge people and I would think poorly of people. And at some point I was convicted, and maybe it was from this verse or maybe something that somebody else said or a teacher shared with me, that I'm judging somebody, yet I was guilty of those same things. Yet I'm judging them. I'm judging somebody for the same things that I did. And here Jesus calls those people out, and what does he say about them? Hypocrites. I mean, how often are we guilty of being a hypocrite for judging somebody that we know is wrong? They shouldn't be doing this. This is the wrong thing that somebody should be doing. Yet we ourselves are guilty of it ourselves. This is a very tough passage. And so why would I go and tell somebody, you're doing this wrong? You're in the wrong place, or you're thinking incorrectly, or you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. How would I have wanted somebody to come to me and correct me? Did I want somebody ridiculing me or being passive aggressive or just bold confrontation just in my face? Is that what I needed when I was struggling with those same things? Probably not. I probably would have argued back. I probably would have gotten very angry. Who do you think you are? Who are you to tell me? You're doing the same thing. You're a hypocrite. Is that what leadership is? To point out all the things that people are doing wrong? You see, we are transitioning over the next few years into an AI world where AI is going to be doing so many jobs that the things that we need to focus on are the human skills, the human relationships, the things that make us human that an AI, a bot, cannot replace or do. And one of those things is relationships, genuine relationships. And leadership, leadership is not about convincing people or pointing out who's right and who's wrong or the things that people need to be doing. Leadership, in my opinion, is about influence. Influence is not tyrannical. It's about leading by example. Influence is about acquiring trust, which trust can only come from relationships. It comes from caring more about the other person and the people that work with you or for you than you do about yourself. It's about putting those people first, making sure that you have their backs, that you care about their needs. And when somebody is struggling and having a problem, instead of condemning them and just blaming them, maybe we should first seek to understand what's going on. What is going on in that person's life? Is there a struggle at home? Is there a struggle with a relationship, or maybe their children, or their finances, or maybe something's happening at home that's causing something at their work to be affected? And instead of just confronting them and jumping on them, or like pointing out all the things that they're doing wrong, which would just create an argument, maybe we first seek to understand what's going on in their life. And how can we help? How can we help them to become better at their job? How can we make their job so that what is happening at home can stay at home, so that they can focus on their job here? Remember, Jesus said, hypocrites. Are we hypocrites? Do we have the power, the capacity to show empathy? To say, yeah, I know, I've been in a similar situation. I probably would have wanted somebody to treat me differently than I was treated back then. Man, this is an interesting and a tough lesson today. So I hope that we can focus on finding ways that we can be open-minded, that we can seek to understand those that we work with, and those in our relationships, and those in our family, to seek to understand. Ask good questions. Ask questions that show you care. Find ways to serve so that you can influence. These are the human traits that we need to get better at quickly, because the future is here. So we need to be prepared. So with that, this is Matt signing off. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he shine his face upon you, and may he give you peace. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday.